It's 3 years since the Venue was launched in India, and back then it impressed us so much that we crowned it the Indian Car of the Year. But 3 years is a really long time, especially in this compact SUV segment that is seeing so many new entrants and existing cars also being updated. And to take on the fresh arrivals comes this, the facelifted Venue. Visually, obviously a lot has been changed, but mechanically not that much. Is that enough to keep the Venue at the top of this class? That is what we're going to find out in this video. So before we go ahead, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with like-minded enthusiasts, stay subscribed to the Evo India channel, and if you're wondering whether we are in South America or South Africa, well, no, we are actually right here in India. This is the Ramoji Film City outside Hyderabad, and some of the locations that we're going to be shooting this Venue today will look a bit freaky, so bear with us. Let's start with a quick walk around on the styling. As you can see, the nose is new, and this grille has been inspired by the new Tucson, which is coming to India in a matter of months. It's got these dark chrome elements in the grille that makes it really striking, though it can also be a bit polarizing. What do you think about the styling? Let us know in the comments below. But otherwise, the nose remains more or less unchanged. So you have your headlamps integrated into the bumpers, the LED DRL circles, the headlamps. These are halogen lamps, not full LEDs. And you get the indicators in the eyebrows on top of the headlamps. Over in profile, this looks the same as the earlier Venue. This is only a facelift. You have 16-inch wheels, which were also there before, but this is of a new design. You also get a two-tone roof. So you get this black that contrasts really well with this shade of red, which also I believe is new on this Venue. And over on the rear, that's where you have the biggest update. These tail lamps, you have these full width tail lamps that look really striking, especially if you're following a Venue in the dark. This cuts a striking shape on the road. The big update to the interior is this two-tone dashboard. This color, they call it greige, which is a mix of gray and beige. Anyway, what it does is it does make the cabin visually a little bit more airy. In terms of actual space, nothing much has changed. The back of the seats, the front seats, has been scooped out a bit to liberate a little bit more knee room for the rear passengers, and the rear seat back also reclines a little bit to make it a little bit more comfortable. But overall, the Venue is not the most spacious compact SUV in this class. Now, the infotainment, the touchscreen, it remains unchanged, though your digital cluster has been updated, so it does look more modern. But I don't like the tachometer. It's not a needle, it's not a graphic, it's numerals. And right now it's showing 0.8, which is 800 RPM. I don't like that too much, but that does flash in red when you get to the red line, so that is a good thing. In terms of powertrains, you get the 1.2 naturally aspirated petrol, you get the 1-liter turbo petrol, which is what we're driving, mated to the IMT, which is the clutchless manual, and you also get a DCT, and you get the 1.5 diesel, but no automatic with that 1.5 diesel, not as of now. You continue to get all the connectivity features. In fact, there are more things. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and you're reminiscing about the time that you spent in the forest, you can play the sounds of nature, a lively forest on the infotainment. Call it a gimmick, or maybe some people would appreciate it, but it is there, plus whole load of connectivity things. In fact, the Venue was the first car in India and the first Hyundai to get this full suite of connectivity features, and that continues over here. The seats, these aren't cooled seats. The edges of the seat are leatherette, but the middle part is fabric, so it won't get too hot and sweaty in the summers. You continue with the same size sunroof, not a panoramic sunroof, but then nothing else in this class gets a panoramic sunroof. The steering wheel, it adjusts for rake, not for reach. The seats, the driver's seat is now electrically adjustable, but the height adjust is still manual. So overall, the cabin, more or less the same, but these are nice updates and does make it feel more fresh and kind of newer. Hyundai claimed to have liberated a little bit more rear knee room by scooping out the back of the front seats, and you can notice this considerable scoop. But you really can't use that extra space because your shins, they dig into the base of the seat. So all this extra space, you can see this extra 2 inches of space, but your shins are digging into the seat, so you can't really use that space. Otherwise, in terms of space, it is more or less unchanged. The seat back, it adjusts for recline. It's a 2-step adjust. You get USB-C chargers, 2 USB-C points. The air purifier is now integrated into the armrest between the front seats. It's not in that canister that is stuck into the cup holder. So that is a good update. You get an armrest out here. The middle seat passenger continues to get a lap belt, not so great. So overall, like in the past, the Venue is good for 4. 5, it is a bit of a squeeze. The thing that we really liked about the Venue right when it was launched was the dynamism that was injected into this platform. This of course is a compact SUV, good ground clearance, but it actually handles quite well. You can throw it around corners at good speed, the tires fight well, there's good response and grip from the front end. This is a compact SUV that you enjoy driving, and that hasn't changed with the facelift. What also hasn't changed is the slightly stiffer ride quality. Other rivals do deliver a better ride, and that stiffness, that has not been addressed. So this is firm. You can feel that underlying firmness, especially when you're going over slightly broken patches. This does not flatten bad roads like some of the other compact SUVs. So you have to take it a little bit easy, but it's not uncomfortable. In terms of performance, this is the 1-liter turbo petrol engine. It makes 118 bhp, 172 Newton meters of torque. It's a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, 1-liter capacity, and it's quick. It's quick, it's enthusiastic, it's responsive. The steering is actually good on the Venue. It doesn't feel vague or lifeless. And it just adds to the pleasure of driving the Venue because you can throw it into corners and it gives you that confidence. It gives you feedback. So it remains a fun little car to drive. The brakes, they're the same. Drum brakes at the rear, discs at the front, and they stop really well. There's really nothing to complain about with these brakes. And the performance of the engine. This really does move. So this is the 1-liter turbo petrol engine, and you can get it with the DCT twin clutch automatic or this gearbox, the IMT. This is the clutchless manual. So basically what's happening is that there is no clutch. My left leg is doing nothing and I'm manually shifting gears. This is not new. The IMT has been around for a while, but the novelty factor to be shifting while your left leg is doing nothing is still there. It's still something cool and different. And this gearbox actually works really well. So one thing is there. Now suppose you want to do like a launch control start. So I'm brake torquing it, but the revs don't really go up and it doesn't accelerate or get off the line with vigor. But once it gets moving, then it is as quick as if this engine got a regular manual or even with the DCT. So that initial takeoff is not as vigorous as with a regular manual because you can't spin the front wheels, you can't slip the clutch and launch it. But apart from that, it works as well as a regular manual gearbox. And what it does is it also rev matches. So when you're downshifting, especially at higher revs, it rev matches, which is a cool touch. And it's also a little intelligent in that it doesn't let you ruin the components. And also in terms of the shift quality, the slickness of the gearbox, it's all good. The shift speeds also. This is how you would normally shift. And it gives you the same kind of shift speeds as if you were normally shifting with a manual gearbox. Only thing is, don't rest your hand on the gear lever because there is an actuator, a sensor out here. So if it senses your hand on it, and if you move it around a little bit, then the clutch engages and basically you don't have drive. It goes into neutral. It's like as if you've clutched it in. So don't drive with your hand on the gearbox. But otherwise, it's actually a really nice gearbox to use. It gives you all the convenience of an automatic.
Because what's the pain point when you're driving in the city? The constant clutching in, clutching out. So your left leg is doing nothing. You stick it into second or first, and that's it. Plus no downsides in terms of an increase in cost or a reduction in fuel economy. So overall, it's actually a very well thought out, sensible solution to our traffic conditions in India. Would I take this over a DCT? Maybe not, but then the DCT is obviously more expensive, so maybe yes. Would I take this over a CVT? For sure, yes. The driving environment of the Venue has also remained more or less unchanged, and that's no bad thing. The steering wheel, it looks good, nice to grip, feels really nice in your palms. The fit finish, the quality, now with this two-tone finish, it looks a little bit more sophisticated. And the good thing is they haven't used beige, so that's really nice, and they haven't used that boring grey either. So again, that's really nice. The clocks are new. I would have preferred regular clocks, but anyway, it looks new, looks kind of different.
Why fix it if it ain't broke? That's the whole philosophy behind the facelifted Hyundai Venue, because honestly, not much really needed updating. The powertrains, they've always been strong. The turbo petrol engine delivers on performance. The IMT, it delivers on convenience without the downsides in terms of fuel economy or price compared to a regular automatic. And the diesel, it continues to be popular. That said, the diesel should have got the automatic transmission, but I guess that will come in time. The Venue has always been an enthusiastic little compact SUV to drive, but the ride comfort, it does not set any new benchmark, and the space inside is also not class leading. That said, the connectivity, the features, the interior, the equipment, all of that still remains strong and still remains a highlight on the Venue. And of course, the styling is now more in your face. Polarizing, but definitely unmissable. What do you think of the Venue? Let us know in the comments below. That said, it'll all depend on pricing, and if Hyundai continue to price this aggressively, the Venue will continue to remain a strong seller in the Hyundai India lineup.